Hello students, welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. Students, in previous lecture you learned about the digestive system of earthworm. So in the digestive system of earthworm you already learned about what is the mouth, what is the crop, what is the esophagus, what is the gizzard, okay, and what about the intestine part, stomach part, and where it is situated in the respective segments. So this is a very important, no, right? So today's class I am going to discuss another system, that is circulatory system, right? So let us see what is the circulatory system of the cockroach. See, this is a diagrammatic representation. It is given here now. The circulatory system of earthworm in the lateral view. The circulatory system of this is a lateral view, student. So student, suppose you can see, assume this is a earthworm. So now this is you are seeing this is a lateral view, no part, no. So you are already know about that. This is a lateral view, and this earthworm, there is a two parts is there, no. The upper part we represent the dorsal region, the down part we can represent ventral region. So this part is very important, student. You need to remember these two parts now. The bottom part a ventral, the upper part is a dorsal, right? You can see this is about, and in these conditions we can observe there is there are so many segments is there now. In these segments, this is a very important point in the circulatory system of earthworm. What is the main thing we have to identify? So there are so many hearts is there, no, student. Hearts, what are the like for example lateral hearts, lateroesophageal hearts, right? There are two pairs. This is a two pair, and this is about the two pairs of heart are present, no. So where it is a present in the which segment, where it is a occupancy is there, no. So everything is to be very connective part, no. So this connectivity system of the circulatory system of earthworm, it's very important. You have to remember very carefully. We have to focus here very carefully, student. First of all, you can see the diagrammatic representation. Okay, so in this diagram what you observe now, the first one is, see, lateral hearts is there now. Lateral hearts, it is a present between the where 7th segment and the 9th segment. Okay, so this is about the lateral heart, and there is the another one is that we can represent there is a loops. The loops we call it as the anterior loops. Okay, this is we'll discuss today each and every part, student, with the help of the information only, right? So now let us see the information. First of all, we are talking about the heart and anterior loops. Heart and anterior loop. In earthworm there are how many pairs of tubular hearts are present? There are 4 pairs of a tubular heart. That means the 7th and 8th segment is that 2 pairs, and a 12th and 13th pair, it is a 13th segment having the another 2 pair. So the 2 plus 2 equal to a 4 pairs of a tubular heart. That means why it is represented as a tubular heart? The heart is actually, it is a look like a tube. That's why it is a tubular heart, right? So next you can see these hearts are enlarged and a thick walled, pulsulate, and provide with valves. So this heart is actually, it is a thick wall, and it is a provide with the valves are present now. And the anterior 2 pairs of heart known as lateral heart lie in the 7th and 9th segment. So what is that? The anterior. So generally the earthworm we can consider, no, the bottom part we can represent the anterior, the head part, the terminal part we can represent, the starting terminal part is represents the mouth part, it is a anterior part. The anus part is represent the posterior part. So here what is the talking about, no, the anterior 2 pairs of the hearts known as lateral hearts, that is a lie in the 7th and 9th segment only. So we are talking about the what is that 4 pairs of heart, no. So in that 2 pairs of heart, that we call it as the lateral hearts, it is a present on a 7th and 9th segment. Now I can see where it is present. Let us discuss about the first one, the lateral heart we'll discuss now. So student, you can see this is a heart now. What is that again? This is a lateral heart, a design now. You can see this is the 7th segment is present, and the 8th segment is also present. So student, you are observing the what is the 7th and 9th segment is there is only 1 pair now, and opposite also, that means this back side also one more pair is available. So this is one pair, and another backside is also another end pair is also present. In that is also 7th and 9th pair only. How many pairs it is? The two pairs of lateral hearts present in the 7th and the 9th segment. Okay student, as similarly this is, I hope you understand, a total 4 pairs of heart, only 2 pairs of heart up to we discussed now, right? So this is about the very thick wall, and it is a tubular in nature, right? It is where it is present now, it is the anterior part. So this part is the anterior, and this part is represented as the posterior part. So A and P is nothing but anterior and the posterior, right? So the next another importancy, that is next another part, what is the here now we're talking about the heart and anterior loop. So that they connected the dorsal blood vessels with the ventral blood vessels. Okay, so they connect the dorsal blood vessels and the ventral blood vessels. So what is they here? They is nothing but here is that lateral hearts, right? Lateral hearts connects the dorsal blood vessels and ventral blood vessel. So the blood vessels is actually situated into the, if it is available in the dorsal position, that is called as the dorsal blood vessels, and the blood vessel is to be occupied in the ventral position, that we call the ventral blood vessel. So student, what you understand in this lateral heart, it connects the both vessels. What the vessels it is? The dorsal blood vessels and followed by ventral blood vessel. You can see also, you can see what is that. See, this is a dorsal blood vessel. So the white color part is there, no student? You can see this part, right? So this part what we call no, and this is also. So I am marking no, you can carefully observe this one. So this part what we call no, the dorsal blood vessel. And where is the lateral blood vessel? You can see lateral blood vessel. Just a minute. You can see student. So this is about the lateral blood vessel. Yes. This is a ventral blood vessel. Yes. So this is the ventral blood vessel. You can see this part. The white. This is also white color part is there, no? Right, student? You are observing, no? Correct. So now you can carefully observe. No, this is dorsal, right? Dorsal blood vessel, DB. And this is, what is that? Ventral blood vessel, right? So here carefully observe now. I'll change the color for your understand. Now you can see this blue color part, what I'm discussing to you. This is a nothing but, what is this? This is a one lateral heart. And another one, this is also another lateral heart. So you can see this part, okay, this part and this part and this part and this part, what it can do, this lateral heart, it connects the ventral blood vessels to the one side, and other side it is also connected to the dorsal blood vessels. Correct, student? I hope you clear this point, no? So this is a very, very important point. That is only, it is indicated here, no? So here they connect the dorsal blood vessels with the ventral blood vessels. Correct. So the posterior, the two pairs of the heart called the lateroesopharyngeal heart, that is situated in the 12th and 13th segments. 12th and 13th segments. They are very thick, likewise 7th and 9th, I call it as the lateral heart. It is a muscular, likewise lateral heart. Rhythmically contractile vertical vessels. This point is very important now. So why we call it as the 12th and 13th segment, there is a lateroesopharyngeal heart, we call it as the rhythmically contractile vertical vessels. Why vertical? It is a situated the vertical, no, horizontal position, vertical only, no, sorry, vertical only, no, not horizontal, vertical. So this is a vertical only, it is a present, no, right? So there a pair of thin walled or non-pellucid or loop-like broad vessels without having any walls in the 10th and 11th segments. These vessels are known as anterior loops. So students, let us discuss about the, first of all, up to now you know about the lateral hearts. there is a another hearts also present. What are they? Lateroesophageal hearts. Lateroesophageal hearts, where it is the location? The 12th and the 13th segments. Okay, so here why we call the lateroesopharyngeal? You can see here now. So here this part you can carefully observe, student. So here we already discussed no, the esopharyngeal heart. That means those heart is actually, it is situated nearer to the esophagus, right? That's why it is a lateroesopharyngeal hearts. Now where it is present, you can see this is, see carefully observe, student. I will see, I'll write the blue color only. Now I can see this is about lateroesopharyngeal blood vessel. Lateroesopharyngeal blood vessel. Okay, and this is a connected to the, what is that? Dorsal blood vessel and supraesopharyngeal blood vessel. I will also discuss about this is a supraesopharyngeal blood vessel. So student, you can see from the 9th segment, you can see this is the 9th segment to up to, from the 9th segment to up to 13th segment, right? That means you can see 9th, 10th, 11th, 12, 13. So the red line is there now. I am marking here. You can see this is nothing but, what is that? The supraesopharyngeal blood vessel. So you can carefully observe now here the lateroesopharyngeal blood vessel, esopharyngeal heart will connect the, first of all, one root is to be connect to the, you can carefully can see one root is to be connect to the, what is that? Supraesopharyngeal vessels. Another root is connected to the dorsal blood vessel. Similarly, the 13th segment of the heart also, what the heart we call? Lateroesopharyngeal heart. It is also connected to the supraesopharyngeal blood vessel, and another connectivity, it is attached to the dorsal blood vessel. So you can observe one more point, student, here. What is that? There is a lateral blood vessel, lateral hearts. It only connects the, what is that? Dorsal blood vessel only. But here the 12th and 13th segments of the lateroesopharyngeal hearts will connect the both, what is that? Supraesopharyngeal blood vessel to and dorsal blood vessel. This is a very important point, student. So what is that? Lateral hearts connects the, what is that? Ventral and dorsal blood vessel. Here also, what is that? Connect to the ventral and dorsal blood vessel. Another way also, it is also connects the supraesopharyngeal blood vessel. I hope you cleared this doubt now, right? So next another point, you can see another point that we are already discussed here now, and you can see there is a rhythmically contractile vertical vessels. There is a pair of thin walled and non-policile loop-like broad vessels without valves in each other. There is a 10th and 10th and 11th segments. There is a loops are there now. So that is called the anterior loops. So what is the student here? There is a broad blood vessels also present now. That blood vessels don't have any proper valves. What is the function of valve? Valves is nothing but it is a prevention of backflow. Prevention of backflow. Prevention of backflow. Backflow of blood. Prevention of backflow of blood. That we represents the valves. So here they don't have the anterior loop that is present in the 10th and 11th segment. They don't have any valves. So what is the valves can do? It's a prevention of backflow of blood. Okay, so that is another point. You can see the where it is the anterior loops are present. Now I can see, student, I will change the color for your visualization. Here see, I am drawing the green color. So where is this lateral loop is to be present? This is a green color. See, this part we call it as lateral loop. Okay, student. So the lateral loop, it is situated here is the 10th and 11th segment. This lateral loop, anterior loop, that is present on 10th and 11th segment. This anterior loop don't have any proper valves, right? So this is another importance about anterior loop. I hope you cleared about this. Up to now, what we discussed now, student? Lateral hearts, lateral esopharyngeal hearts, and anterior loop. I hope you clear up to now, right? So the next blood vessels. We're talking about the blood vessels. There are two type of blood vessels. What are they? Dorsal blood vessels and ventral blood vessels. Up to now you learned about hearts, 4 pair of hearts. One is anterior, correct? No. So now I am going to discuss that is blood vessel. Dorsal blood vessel, what is the action? Ventral blood vessel, what is the action? You need to very carefully observe here. Blood vessels. The blood vessels here, the blood flows in well organized vessels which run all along the body of earthworm. Some prominent blood vessels found in the earthworm are. So what is the function you are observing here, student? So we're talking about the blood. The blood vessels are well organized that can be run all of the body of the earthworm now. So what the first one is that dorsal blood vessel. I already notified this one is that dorsal blood vessel. No, you can see the diagrammatic representation. This is about the dorsal blood vessel, right? So the largest blood vessels of running the mid dorsally above the alimentary canal and from one end of the body to the other. Suppose student, you can see this is about the earthworm now, right? So there is a earthworm here. I already notified. For example, you can see this is I'm drawing the, there is a dorsal view. In the dorsal view there is a midline is there now. Okay, this is represents the midline. This is also called as the mid dorsal line. Mid dorsal line. Okay, this is also called as the mid dorsal line. This mid dorsal line below we can observe that is dorsal blood vessel, and above and the dorsal blood below we can observe the alimentary canal. So they will ask one question here. What is that? The dorsal blood vessel location in earthworm is, it is located between mid dorsal line and alimentary canal. Oh, I hope you understand this point now. This is very very important. Again I will explain. So what is that? So what is that? It is running the middle mid dorsally above the alimentary canal. It is the largest blood vessels of the running the mid dorsally above and alimentary canal, and above the alimentary canal from one end to the other. No. So student, so here this is a one end. This is a one end, and this is about the another end. Another end, right? So next point, you can see it has valves which prevents the backflow of blood. I already notified the valves of function is prevent the backflow of blood. It receives blood from various parts of earthworm through different connecting vessels. So what is the function of this one? It receives the blood various parts of from the there is a more some internal parts. It is a visceral part. We can collect the blood and the different connecting of the blood vessel. Where is the different connecting of the blood here? No. Suppose for example lateral hearts also connected to each other. Lateral esophageal hearts also connected to each other. No. So the blood vessels also connected to these two parts, lateral and lateral esophageal blood vessels. At the same time another vessels are there, commissural vessels. Commissural vessels also known as that subneural vessels and ventral vessels. This is things we will discuss later. No. So students, I hope you understand the dorsal blood vessel, right? Next, another one is ventral blood vessel. So they will ask one question. Ventral blood vessel here also very important. No, it is extend from one end to the other end of the body. It does not have any valves. The flow of the blood is from the anterior to the posterior end of the body. So they will ask one more question here. No. So there are two type of blood vessels are there. The dorsal blood vessels having the valves. Ventral blood vessels don't have any valves. So they depending on the valves, which one is having the valves? Dorsal. Which one is don't having the valves? Ventral. So which one is the largest one? Dorsal. This is the very smallest. It is a main distribution. Okay, distributing the blood vessel. This is a main distributing blood vessel. This point also very important. What is the main distributing blood vessel are found in the earthworm? That is answer is ventral blood vessel, right? Let us see where is the ventral blood vessel are found here. No, very carefully can observe. No, right? This part, right? This is represents the ventral blood vessel. right? This part is called the ventral blood vessel, right student? So this is about the importance about the lateral and ventral blood vessels. So this is a ventral, so this is also, sorry, this is the ventral student. So this is the ventral, right? Ventral blood vessels. Okay student, so this is about the information about the ventral blood vessel, and this is called the dorsal blood vessels. I hope you understand both ventral and dorsal blood vessel. Okay, so let us see the next another part, subneural blood vessel. Up to now we discuss about the two type of blood vessel and where the subneural blood vessel is found. Okay, subneural blood vessel, you can see student, this one. Where is the location? No, it is extending from the 14th segment. Now you can see from the 14th segment only it is a curve, it is a become down here. No, you can, okay, the black color part you can see I'm already marking here. No, this is called the subneural blood vessel. So now we are going to discuss about this importance about the subneural blood vessel. Now you can see student, it runs from posterior end of the body. Yes, we already know that this is already we notified this is anterior and this is represents the posterior. No, right? It runs from the posterior end of the body and up to 14th segment in front. Okay, 14th segment in front. It is a where it is up to, it is that from the posterior body to, from the posterior terminal limb to the up to where it is present here, 14th segment only. So here exactly 14th segment is present here. No, so it is extending up to 14th segment. It collect the blood from the body wall and a nerve cord. So already notified, no, the body wall is also, it is a different type of blood circulation is to be going on. So the blood circulation is to be collected by subneural and is entered into the, at the same time nerve cord also collect the blood from what is that, body wall, nerve cord. That is the duty of subneural vessels, and thus collected in sent to the dorsal blood vessel. Okay, so the dorsal, it is connected to the dorsal blood vessel. So after collecting those blood, that blood is to be pumped to the what is that, dorsal blood vessel. How it is pumping to the dorsal blood vessel? So now you can see this is the, there is a connectivity is also there. Now this black color line, that part we call it as the what is that, esophageal tegmentary. Okay, esophageal tegmentary, it is entered here, and finally what happened is it is a anterior loop is to be passes to the, and finally it is a passes to this one. So simply what is that, the function of subneural, it is a passes to the blood to the even dorsal blood vessel. Through how it is passes through student, through commissural blood vessel. You can see I already mentioned now here. So very easy to understand student. Subneural blood vessel, what is that? It is extending from the, it is available from the posterior to, okay, posterior long end to the, it is extending up to 14 segment. Okay, you can see 14 segment, and now it is receives the blood from where to where, it is a body wall and nerve cord, and it is connected to the dorsal blood vessel with the what is that, commissural blood vessel. This commissural blood vessel, what is the importance? It is collect the blood from the subneural blood vessel to dorsal blood vessel. Suppose you can see in this area only, you can see the marking area, the arrow area, the blood is pumping to the from the subneural to dorsal blood vessel. I hope you understand student, right? So this is about the information about the subneural blood vessel. I hope you understand. No? Then let us see the next, another one is lateral esophageal blood vessel. Lateral esophageal blood vessel. So what it can do? Okay, lateral esophageal blood vessel, according to some author, says that it is a part of alimentary canal from the 5th segment up to 14th segment. That is called as the esophagus. Okay, so it is a part of lateral esophageal blood. I already notified, no, because of why the name is given. It is the blood vessel is to be located to the what is that, esophagus. No, but it is now some author is reported as a part of digestive system. No, it is not at all considered as a digestive system, because of we are talking about the blood vessel. There is a circulation is involved in that one, in that area. No, so that's why we are not at all considered as it's a digestive part, right? So there are paid of blood vessels lying one on either ventrolateral side of alimentary canal between the body wall and alimentary canal in the first 14 segments. So students, so what you understand here now, the lateral esophageal blood vessels, it can be situated, it is on the from the 5th segment to the up to 14th segment. So now we can see where it is present here now, 5th to esophageal segment. Okay, you can see where it is, that lateroesophageal blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels. Now you can see students, I will show you. So this is about the lateroesophageal, up to 14 is there now. Okay, so this is also, you can see from the 5th segment, you can see this part, right? This is a part now, this part to up to we discuss about here now, right? So this part you can see, student. So what is that? 5th segment, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th, right? This part, what is that? This part is represent the esophagus region. So in this esophagus region, the lateral, in this esophagus region only, the blood vessels are occupied here now. That is called this, you can see, esophageal tegmentary. Okay, and here now lateral esophagals. Okay, esophagals, right? And these are the having the blood vessels are there, no student. It is known as the, what is that? Lateroesophageal blood vessel. So what it can do, student? So the both lateroesophageal blood vessels are continuation of the subneural blood vessels in the 14th segment. So what you understand now here, no student? So this is a black color part is there, no student. See this black color area is there, no. I'm marking here, you can see. This one is there, no, marking is there, no. So this part, what is that called, no? Lateroesophageal heart. So that it connected to the, where it is connected to the, it connected to the, what is that? Subneural blood vessels. So the lateroesophageal blood vessels, it connected to the subneural blood vessels. I hope you understand, no? You can see. So where it is connected, no? In the 14th segment only. So this is a 14th segment where it is connected here, 14th segment. Right, student? Again I will explain once again. So what is the lateroesophageal blood vessels? It is located here, 5th to 14th segment. Okay, so here why it is a name it is given here, the blood vessel is situated in the nearer to the esophagus now. So here the lateroesophageal blood vessels up to 14th segment, it is connected to the another blood vessel is called the subneural blood vessel. So here you can see this is a connectivity. Right, student? So this is about where it is exactly connected, 14th segment only. Right, from the subneural blood vessel it is connected to the dorsal blood vessel with the commissural blood vessel. So this is a black color also, commissural blood vessel. That part we already discussed in the earlier. Right. So next you can see the other one is supraesophageal blood vessel. This is a very important point. Supraesophageal blood vessel. Okay, supraesophageal blood vessel, this means it is a single vessel, okay, single vessel which lies on the dorsal side of the alimentary canal between 9th and 10th segment. 9th and 10th segment, sorry, 9th and 13th segment. So where it is present here, 9th is here and 13th is here now. So between the 9th and 13th means that is called the, what is that, supraesophageal blood vessel. So from the 9th to 10th segment, I already notified, no, this is a horizontal line, you can see this part. Okay, student, this part what we call, no, supraesophageal blood vessel. This part only we are talking about now, right? So the supraesophageal blood vessel, it is the occupancy, it is from the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, right? What it can do, it receives the blood from the lateral esophageal blood, lateral esophageal through the two pairs of anterior loop and pour into the two pairs of the lateroesophageal heart present in the 12th and the 13th segments. So student, what you understand here now, very important now. So what is that? So now you can see I will change the color as a blue. Okay, so now you can see this is a represents, what is that? Anterior loop, right? Anterior loop. This supraesophageal blood vessels, what it can do, it is connects the, okay, this is a two pairs of, this is one pair we are seeing here now. another pair is also present on the another side, it is that. So this is one pair and another one is that, two pair is that, this is one pair, another pair, so total two pairs. The two pairs of anterior loop connects the supraesophageal blood vessels. This is, see, connect here, no, at the same time it is also connects the lateroesophageal blood vessel. So student, what you understand about supraesophageal blood vessel? So listen carefully. First of all, we are talking about the location. So where it is located, no, where segment from 9th, 10th, 11th, from the 9 to 13 segment, it is a occupancy, it is a laterally is observed, no. You can see the pink color area, there is a laterally appear, no. So next, another point is that it connects the, what is that, it connects the lateroesophageal, the black color part, what is that, no, lateral, okay, this is called the lateral esophageal blood, and it is also connected to the anterior loop, and it is also connects the, what is that, lateroesophageal heart. So there are, this supraesophageal blood vessel connects three parts. First one is anterior loop, second one is lateroesophageal blood vessel, third one is the lateroesophageal heart. Okay, so this is about the very, very important points, it is that. So everything is to be connecting to each other, student, right? So the next, the other part is that we'll discuss about the blood. Okay, so the blood, we're talking about that. You can see, student, it is represents the, it is a connective, is a mobile connective tissue which is composed of the fluid plasma and colorless blood corpuscles are present. That we already know now. We already discussed about the in earlier also the blood. And here a colored respiratory pigment in the earthworm, that is called as hemoglobin, is present. That's present in the plasma. The red color is due to blood and aids in the responsible transportation of oxygen for respiration. And only one type of blood corpuscles is present, that is leukocytes are present in the blood of the earthworm. There are phagocytic in nature, they kill the harmful germs which they entered. So students, this part is actually resembles to our human being, right? So mobile connective tissue, right? Correct, no. Composed of the fluid plasma and colorless blood corpuscles also present, WBC. Respiratory pigment is a hemoglobin, okay, and present in the plasma, right? Okay, and it is a transportation of the oxygen for the respiration. Okay, and they having the WBC, leukocytes are present. They having the phagocytic in nature. What is the phagocytic? It's eating. Okay, they are killing the harmful germs which are entered into our body. And blood glands is a very, very important, no, student. They will ask one question, no. Blood glands, 4, 5, 6th, lying above the pharyngeal mass, they are found the small and red colored follicular bodies called blood glands. They are considered as the blood corpuscles and hemoglobin. Very, very, very important point. So how the blood corpuscles and hemoglobins are produced in the earthworm? There are 4, 5, 6 segments. There is a pharyngeal mass are present. That means you can see, I will draw the diagram. So for example, so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? This is first segment, second segment, third, 4, 5, 6. So now you can carefully can see there is a, the segments what they're talking about now, there is a 4, 5, 6 segments lying above the right mass, found the small and red colored and follicular bodies is called the blood glands. That means you can see this is a blood glands, is appears like this. Okay, what we call now, this one is blood glands. So this blood glands, where it is present, 4, 5, 6 segments. What it can do, it is responsible for the formation of blood corpuscles and also synthesis of hemoglobin pigment. No. So student, I hope you cleared about this today's class, right? We're talking about the blood and blood gland. Now I hope you today's class you are clear. No, this is I'm discussing about the circulatory system. Again I will recall, right? Let us see, this is a question, 4 questions. blood corpuscles are produced by, we just now we discussed, no, what is the answer? Lateral heart? No, lateral heart is present in the, where it is the 7th and 9th segment, anterior loop 10th and 11th. And blood vessels, there are so many blood vessels are there, commissural, dorsal, subneural and lateral. Okay, so this is not at all, no. So our correct option is blood glands located here, the 4, 5 and 6th segments. It is responsible for, okay, responsible for the formation of blood corpuscles and along with the hemoglobin. Largest blood vessels of earthworm body is, no doubt at all, it is answer is the dorsal blood vessel, because of it is also very thick and it is having the walls are present here, so that is largest, no. This is a direct question. The color of the blood in the earthworm is, yes, red. The red color is due to presence of hemoglobin, right? So next, lateral hearts are present in, lateral heart present in the 7th and 9th segment. What about the 12th and 13th segment? Lateroesophageal blood vessel. Okay, this is called as lateral esophageal blood vessel. Right, 8th and 10th segment, we don't have any this type of a property. 4th and 10th 5th segments, blood glands are present along with the 6th segment also. So this is a incorrect. So the correct option for this one is, the first one is correct option. So students, I hope you cleared. This is a information. Again I will recall about today what we discussed now. Once again we will recall now. Just a minute student, take a look. For entire class I am giving to you as a one summary. So what is that student? We are talking about the circulatory system. First of all, we'll discuss about the lateral hearts. Lateral hearts is a very thick no and don't have any, it is located in the 7th and the 9th segments. It is attaches to the both dorsal blood vessels and the ventral blood vessels, right? So the next another part is called the lateroesophageal heart. Totally how many pairs of hearts you know? There are 4 pairs, 2 pairs of lateral heart, 2 pairs of lateroesophageal heart. So the 2 pairs of lateral heart location is 7th and 9th segment. It connects the dorsal and as well as ventral blood vessel, whereas the dorsal and the lateroesophageal heart's location is that 12th and 13th segment. It connects, what is that? It connects the dorsal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel and also connects the supraesophageal blood vessel. I hope you understand now. Next, another we are talking about the anterior loop. Anterior loop, they don't have any proper walls. Okay, it connects the supraesophageal blood vessels and lateroesophageal blood vessel, and it is also connects to the lateroesophageal blood vessel, and this is anterior loop we are talking about now. Anterior loop, it connects the supraesophageal blood vessel, and another one is lateroesophageal blood vessel. It is located here 10th and 11th segments. Okay student, another segment we called as blood vessel. We discuss about the supraesophageal blood vessel. It is occupied the 9th, 10th, 12th, 13th segments now. From the 9 to 13 segments, there is a red color part you can observe now, that is called the supraesophageal blood vessel. Supraesophageal blood vessel, it is a collects the blood, it is a connects the anterior loop, lateral esophageal blood vessel and ventral blood vessel. Okay student, so this is about the information about the supra, and another one is that remaining information is the dorsal intestine. That is no need to discuss about that. Dorsal intestine, subtle, this is no need to this one. Main parts only it is important student, right? So the next subneural we discussed no, subneural blood vessel. Subneural blood vessel from the posterior part to it is extending up to 14th segment. It connects the dorsal blood vessel with the help of commissural blood vessel. Commissural blood vessel. I hope you understand no. And there is another blood vessel that is called the esophageal blood vessel no. Esophageal blood vessel from the 5th segment to 14th segment. Okay, it is here see, this part is called that lateroesophageal blood. It is extending up to the 5th to 14. From the 14th itself it connects the subneural blood vessel. That is also we discussed now, right student? And this is information with that we discussed, right? this is a very important part, student. Ventral blood vessels and this one very important, no? Supraneural lateroesophageal neuron, right? So I hope you understand today's class, right? So at the same time, blood glands function is that, what is that? There is a 4, 5, 6, okay, segments are having the, what is that? There is a blood glands are there. It is responsible for blood corpuscles and hemoglobin. I hope you today's class you can understand, right? So next class I'm going to teach you that is another system, that is excretory system. Thank you, student. Thank you all.